And with a new political landscape, there's a strong possibility that it will pass. Hello, welcome to episode 63 of This Week's Economy. I'm your host, Dr. Vance Ginn. Thank you for joining me today. I'm president of Ginn Economic Consulting, a fellow at more than 10 free market think tanks, and former chief economist of the White House's Office of Management and Budget. Today, we're diving into key national and state economic issues, including inflation, housing market challenges, and the national debt. Plus, we'll cover significant state issues like Texas' recent runoff election results and what they mean for universal school choice. But first, did you know that even rock stars can make a difference? On May 25th, 2002, I was in a traumatic car accident where we wrecked going 120 miles per hour, and I was life-flighted to a hospital in Houston, Texas. Part of my story includes growing up in a low-income, single-mom household to becoming a drummer in a hard rock band in Houston, surviving a traumatic car accident, experiencing God's grace, and eventually pursuing a calling to help let people prosper through policy work and economic consulting. God is good, and I'm glad to be able to celebrate that fact over this been a long time, but I'm glad that it's all coming together now. In the election news or other news that's going on here recently, inflation continues to be a major concern. The Federal Reserve's ongoing interest rate hikes aim to cool the economy, but what does that mean for you and me? Well, higher interest rates increase borrowing costs, affecting everything from mortgages to business loans. We need to monitor these changes and understand their broader economic impact. I'll put more of this information in my show notes. In the housing market, well, housing prices are at an all-time high, driven by limited supply and high demand. This has made homeownership a distant dream for many. We need to look at market-based solutions such as zoning reforms and reducing regulatory burdens to increase housing supply and bring down costs. What about in federal government? Well, there was a recent report that was put out basically talking about what the Treasury is reporting itself, and it shows that the U.S. Treasury ran a surplus in April thanks to April 15th tax deadline. But the federal government is still on track to end the fiscal year more than $1.5 trillion with a T in the red. April tax receipts totaled $776 billion, a 22% increase from the previous year. Treasury officials credited part of the jump to the growing number of people working and rising wages. Government spending for the month rose 23% from a year ago, though, with the biggest increase, $26 billion, coming from higher interest payments on the federal debt. Interest payments have gone up as a result of both rising debt and today's high interest rates. Addressing this requires significant fiscal reforms, including spending cuts and budget prioritization. We must implement policies that ensure long-term economic health without burdening future generations. What about the Texas election? Well, the Texas recent runoff election results have significant implications for education policy. The push for universal school choice is gaining momentum, and with a new political landscape, there's a strong possibility that it will pass. Universal school choice will empower parents to choose the best educational options for their children, fostering competition and improving education quality. The Texas legislature now should have enough votes to cut the bloated state budget, pass a stronger constitutional spending limit, put school district property taxes on a path to elimination, remove occupational licensing, and pass universal school choice. Let's get it done in Texas, okay, guys? In other state news, my work with the Kansas Policy Institute involves fighting against stadium subsidies and corporate welfare in general. These subsidies often divert public funds from essential services, not providing the promised economic benefits. We need to ensure taxpayer money is used efficiently and effectively, where more of that should be in their hands instead of in government. Well, this latest episode of the Life People Prosper Show was with Ryan Bourne of the Cato Institute, where we discussed the war on prices and what can be done to help improve prosperity for all. Next week's show will be with Dr. Judge Glock on the housing market and local debt crises. Don't miss that one. The quote of the week is from Fee, and basically the Foundation for Economic Education, about the importance of free markets and personal responsibility. And it's from the economist Ludwig von Mises, one of my favorite economists. And he said, quote, "A short time ago, the demagogues blamed capitalism for the poverty of the masses. Today, they've rather blamed capitalism for the affluence that is bestowed upon the common man." Too often we want to blame capitalism for everything, but it really is a failure of government that's causing the problem, as we move more towards socialism. We should get back to free market capitalism, which is the best path to let people prosper. The Bible verse of the day, this verse reminds us the importance of faith and resilience. It's Proverbs 12:25. Worry weighs a person down, and an encouraging word cheers a person up. Thank you so much for tuning in to episode 63 of This Week's Economy. We've covered a lot of ground today, from national issues like inflation and the housing market to state-specific developments in Texas. Remember to like, subscribe, and share this episode. For more insights, visit vanceginn.substack.com and vanceginn.com. And until next time, let's keep working towards a more prosperous future and let people prosper.